Welcome to the Primal Show with Gary Collins and myself, Heath Squier. Today's show is going to be about energy and what we recommend for getting a good, clean energy from either your diet, or in this case, we're going to talk about some supplements which can really give you a great energy throughout the day without making your stomach too acidic. And with so many of the drinks and pills on the market today to give you energy, they're completely ruining your stomach acidity, or you're completely wiped out at the end of the day. And Gary and I have found some great supplements that we can recommend and some drinks that we recommend to take without completely destroying your stomach health.
Yeah, because you're right. A lot of the supplements, I've experimented with them over the years, and I really don't take a whole lot of supplements for energy anymore. Usually it's in the form of a drink. They can wreak some havoc on your stomach. I've tested some out over the years and used some, and yeah, they can definitely irritate your stomach, so that's kind of something to be careful with. And, most people are used to using like coffee and tea, which I've done, but I've noticed that coffee has just become too acidic for me. So I don't drink a whole lot of coffee anymore. So yeah, there's some good alternatives out there.
Yeah, typically I like to start off with some like organic espresso. Like a darker roast is actually a lot easier on the stomach in terms of acidity. Coffee is one of the most heavily pesticides are used so rampantly
Coffee
in that whole industry.
Yeah.
Yes, so you really need to buy organic when it comes to espresso, and look for that darker roast. Is something we could definitely recommend if you're going to consume espresso. And in general, just kind of eating the way Gary and I recommend, which is to kind of like a low carb, kind of ketogenic approach to the paleo or primal eating. Primal being like a grass-fed organic dairy every now and then kind of approach. That this allows your body to burn fat as its primary source of energy. So you should have more sustained energy throughout the day, but I think anybody likes that extra boost. And today's show is more talking about some supplements and drinks that you can take to give you that extra amount of energy throughout the day. And you're already going to have a more sustained energy flow throughout the entire day. But one thing that I like is there's Yerba mate tea is a great one. There's all sorts of health benefits from it. It's a great fat burner. And if you look for the unsweetened version of it, there's basically no sugar in it. And it's a great way to get a great boost throughout the day.
Yeah, I agree with that one. But you got to be careful because a lot of them they add sugar, and it's more of a blend instead of the pure. And I'm trying to think of the main brand.
I think it's like, they're going to probably kill me for this one, like Guayaki or
something. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
I know the label when I see it, and that's the one I always buy.
Right.
But
and
I think
I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but it's something like that. It starts with a G, and it's sold everywhere. That's probably one of the better ones that I've seen out there, and they have a really great company. So definitely like to support them. Another great product that I found is Source Natural is a great company. This is pretty much sold everywhere. It's also sold on my site, green coffee extract. Now, a lot of the pure green coffee extracts, they don't have any caffeine added. And what I specifically like this one because it's got a little caffeine added to the green coffee extract. So it's extra potent. It's very clean formula. My stomach's sometimes pretty sensitive. And I found while taking this, right around noon or with like lunch, it gives me a great boost through the afternoon. This has got a ton of benefits. It's also a great fat burner, as well. Something I really like, that particular product. What do you think about that?
Well, I like the combination. I've gotten a lot of questions over similar products, and especially when Dr. Oz promoted it more than once. I got bombarded by especially family members. And with adding the caffeine, it does two things, because the green coffee extract, or green coffee extract? Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah.
Because there's also a couple other similar products, but with the caffeine and the green coffee, extract works as kind of a sugar kind of balancer. You know, it helps balance your glucose levels as far as keeping them in check. And that's what it does. And everyone thinks because coffee's in the word that automatically has caffeine in it. It doesn't. But by adding caffeine, you get a little metabolism booster, and then you get the sugar regulation to go along with it. It's kind of a synergistic effect. And I think we should explain to people with a lot of energy boosters, what you're getting is something that's going to boost your metabolism a little bit as well. Are you going to be skinny and ripped off just that? Absolutely not. Using one product alone is not going to make you drop 10 pounds over 3 days. It's something to use as a tool.
And this is with, obviously, when we talk about, these being fat burners, it's in conjunction with your diet and obviously an exercise program. Both Gary and I have our exercise programs posted. So specifically, though, this one does not have caffeine added in from like the traditional sense. It's actually got it from chlorogenic acid. And it's the way they're processing the green coffee. It yields about a 10 to 14% yield in coffee. So it's about, I would say, 60 to 120 milligrams of caffeine in there. But it's from a natural source, so it's not derived from some synthetic or anything like that. Another issue I'd like to talk about is a lot of people's adrenals are completely wiped out from taking in too much Red Bull, too many of these various products out there. And not only is their stomach acidity off, because you can tell by people being just bloated, poor digestion, all these things come from having an off pH, but their adrenals are completely wiped, so they're chronically fatigued. And if you give your body a chance to basically repair itself, your adrenals can repair itself, but you have to give yourself a break from caffeine. Now, we sell a brand called Quantum Nutrition. It's actually specifically for the adrenals, and it's basically a blend of roots and everything that allows your body to repair itself a little bit faster. And after taking this for, I would say, 1 to 2 weeks, I like to take it at night because it can make you a little bit tired.
Most of them do. That's what they do. They actually make you sleep.
And so I take it right before bedtime, one a day, and then the next day I find myself having so much more energy just naturally. I can actually cut back on any sort of caffeine intake because for whatever reason, this is helping to repair your adrenals and help them to operate on a more efficient basis. The other issue, too, is liver. We sell a liver support. I think you might. So many people's livers are just jacked from alcohol, and the liver is so important also because it also filters estrogen out of the blood. So if you're having issues with being puffy and not being able to get ripped, a great way to be able to reduce estrogen is by helping your liver out, by getting a little cleanse. Do you agree with both those?
Yeah. I've used those products in the past, and what I tell people, the easiest way to know that if your adrenals are getting tapped is, and you're consuming too much caffeine, is being tired all the time. If you're having, or a yo-yo effect where you're having these, you drink your coffee, you shoot way up, you're doing really great, and then you crash. And then you just are exhausted all day. Well, that means either one of two things. You have a caffeine sensitivity, which I've dealt with that on the practitioner end as well, or you're just ingesting too much caffeine and it's tapping out your adrenals, because what caffeine does is it revs up that fight or flight response, gets the cortisol levels up, starts pumping out the adrenaline along with, the feel-good hormones, but you get too much of it. So it's your body mimicking that natural instinct of I'm running after something or I'm being chased by something. And As a human, we're not meant to be going through that cycle 3-4 times a day for, hours on end. So what happens is you end up just basically blasting your adrenals.
Yeah, I mean, probably one of, before we recommend any other products, you should always consult with your doctor before starting any new supplement, especially when it comes to caffeine. Make sure you're getting a physical, make sure your heart is healthy. We're recommending these are products that I personally take and Gary personally take But before starting any sort of caffeine intake, you have to know how well your body's going to tolerate that amount of caffeine that you're taking in. And that's why it's always good to start off with the smallest amount of any sort of energy product to see, your tolerance to it, see how your body reacts. Oftentimes less is more, especially when it comes to a lot of energy products. But all these products are super clean, and take half the dosage that it recommends just to start off with, just to see how you tolerate it. One product that I really like, and just for good energy, and it's kind of from an unexpected source, it's DMAE, and this specific product gives you mental clarity. It gives you kind of a drive. When taking this, you have kind of a better recall, memory, alertness, just a wide range of great, mental clarity throughout the day, I found. And DMAEs, you can, Google it. There's a ton of great health benefits from this. It's another natural energy. The other product, too, it's a little bit controversial. It's yohimbe. This has, from my research, basically warriors used to take this before they used to go into battle. This specific brand, I actually found at a local Rite Aid. After doing a little bit of research, I was like, you know what? I went over there. It's made by GNC. There are a lot of different brands, but specifically what you want to look for is yohimbe bark. It's the purest kind. This is yohimbe bark extract. And what I do is I open up one of these capsules, I pour it on a piece of paper, I kind of wet the tip of my finger, and I put it right onto my tongue. This stuff is extremely potent. I found it's very effective at burning fat, and I never eaten something I've been really working on this year, and it seems to give me more of an aggressive edge when trying to tackle my running routine, which I'm working on right now at the gym. I've been trying to work up to running for at least 30 to 45 minutes straight, and I found that product really helps give you kind of that aggressive. There's a wide range of health benefits also. Some say that it boosts testosterone levels, so it's and burns fat. So it really doesn't get any better than that combination, at least I found.
Yeah, and a lot of the, as far as energy boosters, will help produce a little more testosterone because that's your body, again, getting ready for flight or fight. And that's one thing. I'm a little simpler. Me and Heath are different in these regards. I'm more of a simpleton on energy boosters. I don't take, like I said, I don't take any supplements as far as pill form. I have in the past. Right now, I've been messing around with a couple products. Like I said, I can't do coffee anymore. Love the taste of it, but coffee is also a diuretic. So I notice it dehydrates me really bad if I drink it every day. And noticeably, to where, my lips start to crack, my skin gets dry, and it's just from like a cup a day. So I probably have a sensitivity of some sort to it.
Extremely sensitive, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people do. And if you notice that in yourself, you probably want to cut back. I've tried drinking a ton of water to compensate. It doesn't work. I just stay dehydrated. A company right now that I've been messing around with, it's called Highball Energy. It sounds pretty deadly. When I first saw it, I remember I was in the grocery store, because I've had to shop at grocery stores more since I've been up here doing my off-the-grid project. And I went, oh, that sounds kind of deadly. And I actually picked it up thinking I was going to rip on it. Well, it's actually really healthy. All it's got in it is organic guarana, organic ginseng, organic caffeine, and it's got B vitamins, and it's carbonated water flavored with vanilla. So that's it. It's 0 calories, 0 carbs. So it's worked really well. It's about the equivalent to a small cup of coffee. I notice I don't get dehydrated with this. It does have natural flavor. I'm not sure what that is. So I was going to call the company and try and get that information from them. Another one I found right next to it is Runa, and it's from Guayusa, I believe. I hope I'm saying it, or Guayasa plant. It comes from the Amazon in, what country is it from? I'm trying to remember. it's on here. Why am I not seeing it? But it's like that. It's by the indigenous people. They've been taking this for a long time, and it's not from tea. They call it a tea, but it's not from the traditional tea leaf that all of our teas are made from. Green tea, black tea, that's all made from the same leaf. It's the same thing. This one's 0 calorie. It's USD organic. It's pretty good. It works. This one's about 120 milligrams of caffeine, so it's a little less than the highball. And then their tea bags, which I've been using. This, I really like the tea bags. I notice it's got a different combining. I've taken them, and the tea bags seem to have a little different energy level that I like a little better. And I can control. I usually use 2 bags. It's a lot less. It's only about 70 milligrams of caffeine with 2 bags. But I notice a lot more energy with less caffeine. So yeah, I mean, I just have a different approach. I just have never been a real big fan of some of the other stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. Heath has had tremendous success with what he does. And that's, again, everyone's different, right? You know, different products for different people.
I think that the basic component here is to simplify and to consume products that don't have very many ingredients. There's a lot of pre-workout drinks out there, and there's a lot of pre-workout powders, and they're just packed with creatine and all sorts of stuff that can just retain water, and it just, you know, you feel great at the time, but you can only do that for so long before your stomach's wrecked and you start having other problems. One of the things, if you're looking for a great pre-workout kind of boost, is to take AAKG. It's alpha-ketoglutarate. They actually make it in powder or like the pure form. So you don't need all the creatine and caffeine. You can take a great caffeine product like green coffee, mix it with AAKG, and have a great pre-workout boost. And you're only consuming, 1 to 3 ingredients there. So.
Yeah, and I agree. The simplification process, and I got some comments on an interview I did recently about MLM companies, and a couple of them push some of those pre-post-workout powders, and I've looked at the label, and it is a chemical experiment. I mean, you do not want to be putting that stuff in your body. And to give you an example, one of the guys who was a rep for one of these companies was always trying to push his stuff on me at a gym, my local gym, and I kept telling him, I'm not interested. And he would come in after he would take it. You could watch the goosebumps come on his arms within like 30 to 60 seconds of consuming it. I mean, it was that harsh. And all of a sudden, the guy the lights would turn on and he was full blast. And I kind of looked at him. I went, I'm not too sure you want to be getting that much energy. And then I looked at the label, and it was purely caffeine and a bunch of synthetic chemicals, and I went, and I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea, and I guarantee he'd probably go home after about 3 hours and have to take a nap because he'd crash.
Well, that's the issue, is you're destroying your adrenals at this point.
Absolutely.
They're wiped out, and it's good to just, take a good, healthy, minimalistic approach to consuming, sort of energy supplements. And that's what we wanted to share today, because so many people are so confused by the bombardment of just a ton of energy products on the market today.
Oh, yeah.
And they're pushing them as something you can consume every day. And you really will have acidity problems over the long haul. So it's just something to be, really careful about. And Gary and I put together a great array of products here. And, just do your research, look for, supplements that just have a minimal amount of ingredients, and you will have success. So.
Well, yeah. And a perfect example I give people, too, is understanding where it's coming from. And this is not to promote drug use or anything close to it, but a lot of cultures had forms of energy that they would use, natural energy, to prepare for battle, to work, to hunt, to sustain their energy. And it's like the cocoa leaf. Cocoa leaf, when in its natural form, is not harmful. But when you extract and turn it into cocaine, well, now you have something totally different. Now you have an addictive substance that you should not be taking. And with some of these energy companies and energy products, that's basically what they're doing. They're basically mainlining you with an ingredient that's not harmful in its natural state, but giving it to you in this raw or this super concentrate form. And that's what you want to look out for. I always tell people the simplest test is after you consume it, hold your hand up and see if you have the shakes. If you have the shakes, that's too much, and probably stay away from that. And that's kind of a guideline in that and the goosebump test. If it gives you goosebumps, that is not good. That is way, way too much. So hopefully that helps out.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And we really want everybody to make sure you subscribe to our channel and keep up with us. We're going to be posting videos constantly. So by subscribing to our channel, you'll get emailed notification of each new video we launch. You can also email Gary and I at heath@theprimalshow.com and Gary@theprimalshow.com. We will answer your questions on our videos, and feel free to reach out to us anytime. That's it. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll talk to everybody soon.